You know what I'm talking about. Of course you do. So I think there's a new issue of the newspaper at the general store. So it's best to do the shots fired quest first. Because reasons chocolate chew. So yeah. Which is at the RF store. Right. But of course we want to go around and beat the living hell out of Vince McMahon. You know how it is. You can see what's going on with people around here. Can I interest you in any optional extras? For instance, we can install some floating components that will allow you to land on the surface of the water. What the hell? Can you now? If I took my clients on vacation, I'm sure that would make for quite the spectacle. Spectacle style. It sounds as though the provincial army and the railway military police had a little argument yesterday. They've been at each other's throats for a while now. But they're professionals. They know better than to do stuff that makes the townsfolk uneasy. They're unprofessional old bastages from hell. Bet you didn't know that. Apparently Sharon was personally scouted by the chairman herself. Just watching her, I can see why. That's one capable lady. She was there to welcome the chairman back home at 2 a.m. last night, too. 2 a.m.? What the beep? Chairman Arena left early this morning. It's becoming increasingly more challenging not to be concerned about the sheer frequency of her business trips, says manager Dalton Castle. But I suppose it's certainly not my place to be worrying about her. I wish you all the best with your field study today, though I might recommend staying away from the provincial army and the railway military police, especially after the tense argument between them yesterday. Rhineford battle. Thank you so much, Chief. I'm so sorry about this. This is the last time, you hear? If you don't at least try to stick to our development budget, it's going to be my neck on the line. I really am sorry. At least we can get development back on track. No more screwing around like Newfie. Yes, sir. Alright. Favorite character? Probably Dino. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ba-na-na-na-na. How you doing, Gibbons? Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. The Orbital Revolution led to the Rhineford group increasing exponentially in size. In order to better manage that, it was divided into 4 huge divisions. It was Gwyn, the former chairman, who was responsible for that. He's the man who made Rhineford what it is today. That's too bad. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. There's nobody like Lady Angelica. That's what makes her so wonderful. Apparently Lady Angelica and her father, the Marquis, aren't exactly on the best of terms. If it weren't for that, I'm sure she'd come and visit us occasionally, too. That's like all they ever talk about. Angelica this and Angelica that. It's disgusting. Sickening, even. How you doing? Marquis Ragnar and Chairman Arena of the Rhineford Company are considered to be this region's representatives. And yet I've never seen either of them in the cathedral. Honestly, do they not have a shred of faith between them? I don't think they do. I don't think they do. There's somebody sitting in a pew. Leonard. Ever since the self-supporting accounting system was introduced, profits just keep going up and up. But the workload follows with it. Still, I don't want the other divisions to do better than ours, either. So I'll be heading back to work shortly. That's too bad. The city of Roer owes its development to the manufacture of arms and munitions. As you can imagine, men of the cloth such as myself have mixed feelings about that. Hopefully the people of Roer won't forget what it means to think of others, because their city is built on death. Ho ho ho! I'm afraid I know very little about the internal affairs of the Reinford Company. Chairman Arena and the others, higher-ups, aren't exactly frequent visitors to our church. If you could find some use in hearsay, however, I've heard that their internal conflicts are so fierce that even the chairman can no longer bring them under control. Barney style. Barney the Purple Dinosaur, even. Wonder if we ever get to go in here. Heh, another day, another opportunity to serve his lordship. On the other side of this gate is the residence of Marquis Ragnar. Only those with permission are allowed to pass through. Oh, you wanted to ask about the monster on the southern highway. I don't think you'll have any trouble finding it, assuming you actually read the request at least. Hydras are strange snake-like monsters with 4 heads. They're relatively weak to slash attacks, so plan accordingly. That means you, Reen. How you doing? The city of Roer was designed to be divided into 2 areas, the upper level and the lower level. But a design like that means that you can fit twice as many buildings into it as you could otherwise. Marvelous, isn't it? Functional beauty at its finest. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm talking about? Do, 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 do. Cool. So we'll go back. We'll come back to that place because that's where one of the questicles are. Right, Chrome? The Reinford Company has always been a major weapons manufacturer. But the Orbital Revolution led to the company expanding into other fields, too. Now it's one of the few internationally renowned companies on the continent, with more money than most major nobles. As you can imagine, that makes the situation with Marquis Ragnar a little bit awkward. Dining bar. It was thanks to Gran that I was able to open this bar in the first place. I'd always dreamt of owning a place like this. I honestly can't begin to thank him enough. It wasn't easy, though. We both had to put our feelings aside to make it a reality. Sometimes I wonder if we did the right thing. I bet you did. Tomato cocktail style. I'm researching orbital wave-based communications technology. The Epstein Foundation in Lehman State is unquestionably the leader in the field. But a variety of different terminals are being researched all across the continent, Reinford's Arcus included. Cool. I'm not going to sit around twiddling my thumbs as other people surpass me. Better not. Better be careful. Almina's dream was a beautiful one. I'm proud to say that I was able to help bring it to fruition. Now that I have, I need nothing more. I want only to bask in her radiance. Okay. If you say so, sir. Whatever you gotta do. Ba 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 ba! We're not loving it. Really not. It'd be foolish to try and deny that Irina Reinford is a skilled businesswoman. But that doesn't change the fact that she stole the company from the former chairman. And he's her blood father at that. I can't condone that kind of thing. Uh-oh. Dissension and such. They're still playing with the remote control car. So that's pretty fun. Our orbital remote control car's only problem is that it runs out of energy in 5 minutes. Maybe you should get a Duracell battery. That might help out. But if we can make it last longer, it'll sell like hotcakes. I know it will. As a toy, of course. Who cares about seminars? All I care about is improving this car and starting a business. Nice. I spent most of last year playing Blade, and I've spent most of this year focused on the remote-controlled car. I should probably be more worried about whether I have enough credits to graduate, but if I don't, hey, another year of this. Being a researcher isn't about grades anyway, it's about passion. The passion of the Christ and such. The passion of Hasty Stephen. By God in heaven. Disgusting. How you doing, student? Corey student, even. We want our research and inventions to revolutionize people's lives. Rockhammer style. Ask any student here and they'll tell you the same. That's what we all dream of. It's also why we all look up to Professor Schmidt and former Reinford Chairman Gwynn. Those two made the dream a reality. Indeed they did. What, you mean the standoff yesterday evening? Yeah, I heard about it too. The Provincial Army's armored cars were made here in Roer, so it's sick that they were used to intimidate people like that. It's disgusting. Sickening even, and possibly racist. We're researching technology that could potentially be used in weapons, too. Things like what happened yesterday really make you stop and think about what exactly your research is going. Not only was Professor Schmidt a disciple of the famous Professor Epstein, he founded this institute 50 years ago to spread orbital technology across Erebonia. Ever since, this institute has been the center of the orbital development here in the Empire. Indeed. Yes, indeedy. The Reinford Company might get all the press, but when it comes to fundamental research, this institute comes out on top. Sometimes, students here end up making significant inventions, which go on to have a large impact on people's lives. I heard Hasty Stephen invented something called a toothbrush. As crazy as that sounds. For example, a group of students here established the Empire's very first radio station. More recently, a student here invented a device called an orbital washing machine. You know, if you added an I between the F and the R, her name would be Faraga. I'm just saying. When the Reinford Company saw it, they were more than happy to bring it to the mass market. Okay. We can't go behind the closed doors because there's probably shenanigans happening back there. Shenanigans that we can't be involved in. God damn it! Let's ride the elevator, just for fun. Barney style. Ba-ba. Also, yeah, the south exit is where we need to go for the monster, but of course we'll be doing that last. Because reasons, Chocolate Chew. Hey, you there, the factory's off limits. This is where our army's tanks get made. Which I probably shouldn't have told you. Anyway, stay away from here, got it? Leave it to that nerd to disclose confidential information. Both of my parents died when I was younger. That was when DeVance, who was a close friend of my dad's, decided to take me in and look after me. He might not be my actual father, but he's always wanting me to treat him like we're family. It's been 8 years now since he first took me in. It's kind of nostalgic thinking about it. You really do have a rough home life. Not that I can't relate. Guess these two have a lot in common. Yeah, but it's nice to know Elisa has at least one good friend back home. Naturally. Alright, just a little more cleaning to do, then I need to go and work on getting the books done. He couldn't balance them to save his life anyway. He keeps me busy at the very least. Well, there you go. It's Todd! He's not gonna find me. Especially if I keep switching hiding spots while he's looking for me. Is that all those kids do, is just hide and seek? All day, every day? Apparently so. Ronford's made up of 4 big divisions, and they all compete with one another. Which might be manageable if the divisions themselves were more unified. But they're not. It's kind of a mess, to be honest. A hot mess. And then you've got the rumors there are actually 5 divisions instead of 4. 5? Couldn't tell you if they're true or not, though. I'm just a humble factory worker. 5? What the beep? Does Elisa know about that? Yuna's parents both passed away, you see. That's how I came to take her in. She's a good kid, hard worker, knows her math, all that kind of stuff. That kid did everything right. But she's still just a kid at the end of the day. She'd be lost without me around. Uh-huh. Roasted coffee style. I bet Hasty Steven likes roasted coffee. What a bastage. Telling ya. That kid's got problems. I don't know what you're talking about. Sounds like your place is doing pretty well these days, too. Everyone's talking about how the third factory's got some big project underway. The details are top secret, though. Is it something like the Courageous? Must be nice working at the first factory like you do. Just seems to be getting bigger with the money steel brings in. I think the first factory is the only place day laborers can get a bonus. It's Locomo. Where are you, Toddy? I can't find him today either. Why do you have to be so good at hiding from me? No. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Get in that door. Our Todd is always out playing with Locomo from next door. He can be a little hellion, though, so I do sometimes worry. I just hope he's not being mean to poor little Locomo again. I hear he is, but that's kind of their deal. You jackass. Sounds like Wynn's daughter, Arena, is still keeping herself busy. If you ask me, her problem is that she's a little too smart. She's a smart guy. Nobody ever said being brainy always makes you happy. That is true, though. Often it's quite the opposite. The smarter you are, the more unhappy you are. It kind of goes with the territory. Newfie style. How you doing? You look like Samantha. Looks like there's going to be a tax hike here in the Nordia province soon. But wouldn't that hurt the Rhineford company? I guess that's why it's been postponed for the time being. Here's hoping that the chairman can stop it from happening altogether. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. Spillert! Roer's factories are consuming more and more energy every year. Lots of people believe that at the rate we're going to need a couple more generators, Kapow referee style. But new infrastructure like that is the first factory's job. You get a job. Sheriff! The first and second factories really aren't getting along lately. We seem to get a different set of orders every 5 minutes. It's really taking it out of me. That's too bad. That Roer airport truly is a magnificent structure. I suppose Brynford was responsible for building that as well. They're one incredible company, that's for sure. We're on our way to the station from the airport right now. Apparently the station is huge too. Erebonians really do love everything to be gigantic, don't they? Yes, they do. It's like they say, everything's bigger in Texas. Aw, yeah. I've just received word from the mansion that Lady Annabelle has been sighted in Legram. Yep, I saw her there. I must hurry there at once. Wait for me, my lady. I am on my way. Have fun with that. You bastage. I think we can get the new issue of the newspaper here. My grandma's not the only one who wants our shop to outdo the Rhineford store. It's hard not to feel competitive when they're right across the street. When it comes to drawing customers in, there's no one better. Partially because that's all I know how to do. Meh. How you doing? We can't be beat, not even by Rhineford. That's our motto. It might not have the best ring to it, but it comes from the heart. They might be a huge industrial company, but all the fancy technology in Zamoria won't do you any good if you're hungry. You got a point there, ma'am. New issue of the newspaper, Imperial Chronicle issue 9. The Courageous Takes Flight. Exclusive interview with Prince Oliver. Hopefully the interviewer doesn't appear upside down. That would suck. Alright, new newspaper. Issue 9. Special feature, The Courageous Takes Flight. Recently the nation was stunned by the flashy unveiling of the Imperial family's new Crimson Cruiser, The Courageous. In a stroke of luck, and a gift from God, I was blessed with a chance to talk to the man responsible for its creation, His Highness Prince Oliver. First, congratulations on the Courageous's maiden flight. You really never cease to surprise, Your Highness. I'm happy you enjoyed it. After all, part of the funds used to build the ship came from the taxes paid by citizens such as yourself. I was hoping that I could reveal it in a manner that would go some way to repaying all of you for that. That sounds like something you would think of, Your Highness. Moving on to the ship itself, the technical specifications are truly spectacular. I can hardly believe that a ship this size is capable of flying at 3,000 SPH. Well, it was designed based on Liberal's high-speed cruiser, the Arcel, after all. However, I believe the most important thing about the Courageous is not its speed, or its loading capacity, or any of its other technical specifications. What do you mean? This airship is the result of the combined efforts of all kinds of different people, of different backgrounds and nationalities, and incorporates the technology of Liberal as well as the manpower of the Epstein Foundation, to name but 2 things. It would not have been possible without all of them coming together and working alongside one another. And that, I feel, is why the Courageous's completion should stand as a testament to what can be achieved through working together in harmony and peace with one another. As His Highness rightly says, it seems that the importance and potential of this airship cannot be measured purely by its technical specifications. The choice of Viscount Victor S. Xseed, a man famed for his prowess as a martial arts instructor, is yet another example of this. I hope you will join me in looking forward to seeing what the Courageous can achieve in the future, and how much it'll live up to its name, Staff Rider. Incident: Terrorists still at large. The Imperial Liberation Front, responsible for abducting Princess Alphen during the summer festival, and the attack on the trade conference last month, is still on the loose. According to a source close to the investigation, Their whereabouts are completely unknown, and police are scrambling to locate them. If only the two parties involved in the search, the Railway Military Police and the Nordia Provincial Army, were able to cooperate with one another. The source laments. Excuse me, I hiccuped. Culture. Roer Institute upping recruitment. The Roer Institute of Technology, known for its cutting-edge research and development, has announced that it will be increasing the number of students that it allows to enroll this fall. In addition, it also intends to work towards increasing the number of exchange students who study there. Italian sub style. We hope to be able to gather even more talent here through these measures, a PR spokesman explained. The Institute is currently conducting experiments on the creation of orbital networks. Hopefully they're not issuing the entire class detentions as a class experiment, because that'd be terrible. And as a result, appears to be seeking engineers with specific experience in that field. Spotlight. Everyday low prices. Everyday low prices at your Junes. Kleist & Company aims to bring you the finest products at the lowest prices every day. And it's all for you, the customer. You know, because the customer is always right, from what I understand. Roer Station. Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. We're not loving it. I ran up the escalator. Hotel style. He just hanging out in the hotel lobby. My company supplies factories with various goods and materials. So an industrial town like Roer makes for a perfect business opportunity. I'd love for the rest of Erebonia to look just like this someday. Wahaha! Settle down, sir.
Settle down, Beavis.
I keep telling Papri not to listen to the orbital radio while working, but she refuses to pay me any mind. Very well. If that's how she's gonna be, I'll have no choice but to confiscate it. Uh-oh. No more radio. No more Mitch. Announcing tragedies and accidentally bumping the laugh track button. That's too bad. Apparently the Roer Orbital radio station was started by students. It was apparently a student venture or something. It must be nice to be that smart. Smart guy style. Alright. Do. Ba 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 ba. We're not loving it. We're really not. In fact, we may just be hating it. Chiefs and do. How you doing? You must be the students from Thor's. Thank you for coming. I assume you must be Sandy. Sandy Creek, Delaware. That's right. Though I wasn't expecting Lady Elisa to be accompanying you. I've seen you a few times over the years, but it's an honor to meet you in person. That's very kind of you. Well then, allow me to tell you a bit about myself. As you know, my name is Sandy, and I serve as chief of the 2nd Factory's Firearms Development Division. The FDD! Aw yeah! It's an honor and a privilege to be able to work with you. Thank you. The pleasure's all ours. It must be tough for Elisa around here sometimes. Yeah, she's practically a celebrity here in Roer. As you might have gathered, I need your help combat testing a new kind of orbital firearm. Ooh. One time when a lady berated Mitch for playing the Bipolar Express parody, another lady called in and asked if the lady was her husband's ex-wife. Specifically, I require the assistance of someone familiar with the use of orbital firearms in combat. So would one of you be able to help? Sure. Accept his request. So you want to do this first? We'd be happy to help. Excellent. Well then, to begin with, what kind of gun would you prefer? What do you mean? I assume you were just going to give us whatever you had ready. Terribly sorry, I probably should have explained. Technically, I'm not asking you to test a gun, but rather a device that goes inside it. It's called an orbital unit. And what is that exactly? I'm sure you're all aware that orbital firearms use orbital energy to propel their bullets. Orbital units are the internal mechanisms responsible for producing that orbital energy. After much arduous research, we finally developed a brand new kind of orbital unit. As such, the model of gun it will be installed in makes little difference. For this test, any type will do. Huh. Okay. So what you're saying is the orbital unit's basically the engine and the gun's the car. Precisely. A very accurate comparison. Alright, I think we get it now. So what are our choices gun-wise? I brought 3 with me. A shotgun, a pistol, and a pair of gun swords. If you'll forgive me, I did a little research on your weapons of choice. Tests like these are best performed by those with a degree of proficiency. That's true. It wouldn't be a very useful test if your tester was uncomfortable with the weapon in question. Oh, that's awesome! Thanks! Even brought something for me. So what is it exactly that you want the tester to do? Ah, yes. I do have a specific test I would like you to conduct. Specifically, I need you to defeat a number of dancing owls. A kind of monster found on the Saxon mountain path. Oh, we've killed them before. 10 of them should do. 10? Dancing owls? Their name doesn't sound terribly threatening, but they are highly agile, bird-like monsters, which makes them perfect targets to test firearms on. The tester won't need to defeat them alone, but he or she must be the one to deal the finishing blow. Understood. How are you guys going to decide who gets to test the orbital unit? Well, how about you pick, fearless leader? Sounds good to me. I'm fine with that as well. Heh, sounds like that's settled. You know, I don't always have to make these decisions. I think you're just gonna have to accept it. Alright then. In that case... So you can pretty much do whoever you use the most, and in my case it would be Fee. The targets are agile bird-like monsters. Considering how fast Fee is with her gun swords, taking them down should be no problem. So, do you want to be the tester, Fee? Okay. It sounds as though you've made up your mind. Here's your test weapon. See what you think. Sure. Let me get Black Raid. That should do nicely. Should we head over to the test area then? Yeah, I'm ready. Alright, let's get going then. Saxon Mountain Path is where we went to get to the mine, right? You got it. The exit's near the airport. Quest shots fired started. So we get Black Raid for Fee. Jet black gun swords fitted with Reinford's latest gun unit. Has a 10% chance of causing insta-death. Nice. Avenger actually has more speed and evasion, but 10 less attack. So if you picked Machias, you would get the Phantom SG-0, which has a 20% chance of doing blind. And with Crow, you would get Fire and Ice, which has a 10% chance of doing burn and freeze. So... But you can only get one. So you actually have to have Fee get the finishing blow on 10 dancing owls. So that's kind of a thing. Oh yeah, Mario time. The Reinford group is so big, there's a lot going on that even employees like me don't know about. Chief Sandy and my superiors would probably know more than I do. Sorry I'm not much help, but that's just the way the Reinford group is. That's too bad. That is too bad, so sad. Da-da-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba! We're not loving it! Da-da-da-da-da. Riding the escalator. The escalera, even. Wah. How you doing? How you doing, sir? Eddie with 1D. Welcome to the Roer branch of the RF store. The Reinford Company's products are known for being simple but beautiful, innovative but built to last. Our store has a lineup of the very latest Reinford products, each one providing quality that you can trust. Cool. Because the Reinford Company is also a weapons manufacturer, they tend to avoid disclosing unnecessary information. But now, thanks to the factional conflict worsening, the company's divisions won't even share technology with each other. Each division is essentially keeping their work a secret from the others. The chairman displayed a great deal of skills creating something as revolutionary as the Arcus in an environment like that. If you say so. Alright. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba! We're not loving it! Alright, so now we need to go kill some owls. But before we do that, I'm gonna go use the facility. I'll be back and such.
The bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.